Welcome back to the workshop. My name is William Jinks. I'm the owner and founder of Jinks Wadeworks LLC. We're a veteran-owned custom knife making company. And in this episode, we're going to be going on to the Ara Shiage step. With this stage, we'll be taking the rough forged blade, rough profiling it, getting it dead flat, filing in all the bevels. We'll be doing a little bit of work on the grinder, and we'll see how it goes from here. So thank you for joining us today. Got this brand new file, and I'm just going to be using it to help true up this profile. Just filed the profile in. I'm using this precision piece of tool steel to help establish flatness and squareness with this piece. I'm just laying it on, looking for if it rocks up and down, seeing if there's spots of light, because the more I establish and get straightness here, the better off I'll set myself up for success down the road. It'll be less work. I want to see exactly how deep of a curve I get when I do this clinch. So that's why I'm actually creating this thing to be dead straight. As a matter of fact, this piece can actually just lay on, and I can look through and I can see little streaks of light. From here, I'm gonna go to the belt sander real quick, and I'm gonna clean off the scale surfaces so I don't dull up my file. Because I already established the bevels by forging those in, I won't do that much grinder work. I just need to clean that scale off so it doesn't ruin my file and my send. So here we go. Right here I'm going to be demonstrating a Walter Sorrells type sen. The sen is like a Japanese draw knife used to shave steel. Now traditionally a Japanese sen is actually pushed forward to remove chunks, but for a draw knife you use a lot of your back muscles, which is why I like to use the draw filing technique, because I just pull towards me to remove steel. But when we have trouble spots that are just a little bit too tough for the file, and I need a lot of material removed, then I just use this Walter Sorrells styled sen. So this one's also in a draw knife motion. It's shaving off pieces of steel incredibly quickly. So this is going to be one of those tools that I use to help establish my bevels here. Just when I have low spots and high spots that need to be shaved down. And then I'll go back over those with the file to clean those up, because this does dig deep. I just got done beveling, just filing this bevel in all the way up and down the blade. Now what I'm going to be doing is focusing on the shinogi and trying to keep the shinogi G, the ridge line, as even as possible. Make sure it doesn't get filed away. Then I'll be working on the ko shinogi, which is this area right here. Making sure that I don't ruin this, or anything in between. Then I'm gonna just keep going back and forth. Now for me to get a consistent angle and nice looking shinogi G, the ridge line, what I've done is mark out 1/3 of the blade width up here and 1/3 down here. And because this blade tapers naturally, I just have drawn the Sharpie line and I've just made sure that I don't go over it, and I just keep it consistent all the way down. In the last episode, you guys saw me in 3 different occasions mispronounce this. So the tang in Japan is called nakago, not nakago. Nakago is the westernized speaking of this. This is called nakago. So I flipped the blade over after roughing in most of this. I will definitely go back to doing a little bit of cleanup work probably tomorrow morning or afternoon, but I'm just gonna do some rough work right here and just finish cutting these bevels in. Before I start carving the mune on the spine of this Japanese sword, I'm just gonna go through, double check that everything's straight. If there's any kinks, then I'll just bend it slightly. I don't wanna stress on my steel, but I mean, I already did most of the straightening when it was still hot, so there's very minimal work for me. I'm just looking through, making sure that everything's well and straight. Bending any kinks out. Just double checking my work. The cutting edge is known as the ha. These are your bevels. So when you're looking at the Japanese sword itself, we're just looking at the cross section right now, but this area is the main bevels. The shinogi is the ridge line, and I just quickly left this black line. That's the ridge. Now, a common misconception about Japanese swords is that the shinogi G is actually straight, and that's what the cross section looks like, but that is actually incorrect. They actually taper inwards, they're angled. Your shinogi G is the bevels from here up, and then right here on the spine is the mune. We'll go a little bit more in depth about what the mune and all these terms are later in the series. But this is just a quick brief explanation when I talk about something and you guys don't know exactly what I'm talking about. When I refer to something like the shinogi G, the mune, and all that, you guys will have an idea. Now, we're doing a full mono steel blade. There's nothing folded, there's no sanmai, there's nothing like that. Now, typically, you're gonna get something like an iron or a soft steel core in the middle. That's called the shingane. The outside, or the cutting edge that surrounds that core, is called the kawagane. But this one's just mono steel made from W1 tool steel. So nothing like that, but down the road I would like to do something along those lines, something more traditional. So we just finished up the Ara Shiage step. This blade feels a lot lighter than before. I mean, still reasonably heavy and still has a lot of weight behind it, but we still want to keep this thick for heat treatment since we will be quenching in water. The next step will be Tsuchioki, and with this step we'll be applying clay to create a hamon, which will be a beautiful side effect of a differentially hardened blade. And then after that episode, then we'll go into yaki-ire. But we'll get a lot more in depth on those in the next episode. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified of all of our projects, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.